Good evening, I'm Ava with WNBA Trending. Tonight we take a closer look at a storyline that has captured the attention of women's basketball fans across the nation, the growing rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers. While still early in their professional journeys, the two have already sparked comparisons and debates reminiscent of the great rivalries that defined past eras of basketball. For the WNBA, the question is now being asked, are we witnessing the rise of the league's next marquee rivalry? Caitlin Clark has been one of the most talked-about figures in basketball for the past 3 years. From her record-breaking collegiate career at Iowa to her transition to the Indiana Fever, she has become a household name. Clark's combination of deep three-point shooting, playmaking vision, and competitive drive has drawn comparisons to the likes of Steph Curry, but her impact extends beyond the court. Television ratings, ticket sales, and merchandise tied to Clark have set new records, proving her value as both a player and a cultural figure. On the other side is Paige Bueckers, the UConn star who entered college as one of the most hyped recruits of her generation. Injuries slowed her momentum, but whenever she has been on the floor, her talent has been undeniable. Known for her scoring versatility, mid-range game, and ability to rise in clutch moments, Bueckers has long been seen as a generational talent. Her leadership at UConn, even while navigating setbacks, has only reinforced her reputation as a player with the resilience and poise to excel at the next level. The intersection of these two stars has naturally fueled comparisons. Clark's explosive shooting and offensive flair stand in contrast to Bueckers' balanced, all-around style. One thrives on pulling up from deep range, stretching defenses, and creating highlight moments. The other thrives on efficiency, basketball IQ, and controlling the flow of a game. For fans and analysts, the differences make the matchup all the more compelling. Rivalries in sports are rarely built on skill alone. They require context, moments, and narratives that extend beyond statistics. Clark and Bueckers already have a shared history at the collegiate level. Their meetings in NCAA tournaments and high-profile regular season games generated excitement, and while both had individual success, their teams also carried the weight of fan expectations. Those games laid the groundwork for what could become a defining WNBA storyline in the years ahead. The WNBA has long benefited from rivalries that captured public imagination. Diana Taurasi versus Sue Bird, Candace Parker against Maya Moore, and the fierce battles between the Houston Comets and Los Angeles Sparks in the league's early years all elevated the sport. Each rivalry helped establish personalities, storylines, and moments that brought fans deeper into the game. Now, as the league continues to expand its audience, Clark versus Bueckers may offer a new chapter in that tradition. Media coverage has already begun framing the matchup in those terms. Sports networks, podcasts, and fan forums have speculated on how their games against each other might play out once Bueckers officially enters the league. Clark's rookie season has provided glimpses of how her game translates at the professional level, with nights of electrifying shot-making balanced by the challenges of adjusting to the speed and physicality of WNBA defenses. Bueckers, expected to be a top draft pick, brings a style that many believe will complement professional systems more smoothly. If both fulfill their potential, their battles could become regular headliners. Beyond the court, rivalries require star power and public intrigue. Clark and Bueckers each bring distinct fan bases that overlap but also create debate. Clark has cultivated a fiery competitive persona with a willingness to embrace the spotlight and thrive under pressure. Bueckers, meanwhile, projects a calmer demeanor with a game that speaks through efficiency rather than flash. The contrast in personalities may add to the storylines that media and fans build around them. In many ways, their rivalry has the ingredients to transcend basketball and become a cultural talking point. The WNBA itself stands to benefit enormously from such a rivalry. Rivalries create must-watch games, increase broadcast ratings, and sell tickets in markets that may not typically draw large crowds. Already, Caitlin Clark has brought sellout audiences to arenas across the country, including games on the road. Imagine the buzz when those games also feature Paige Bueckers on the opposite side. The potential for national broadcasts, social media virality, and storylines that carry through an entire season is enormous. However, it is also important to note that rivalries in women's basketball have often been framed differently from those in men's sports. While competitive fire and on-court battles are highlighted, there is also a strong undercurrent of mutual respect and support. Clark and Bueckers have spoken positively about each other in past interviews, acknowledging each other's talents while staying focused on their own growth. For fans, this dynamic offers a more modern rivalry, less about personal animosity and more about pushing each other to higher levels. As Clark continues her rookie campaign, the anticipation of Bueckers entering the league only grows. Analysts speculate about which teams might draft her and whether early matchups against Clark could become nationally televised events. The possibility of playoff showdowns looms larger, especially if both players become the cornerstones of competitive franchises. These scenarios fuel excitement, and the league is aware of the marketing power such narratives can hold. The comparison also underscores the evolving state of women's basketball. Just a decade ago, rivalries in the WNBA did not receive the same national attention as those in the NBA. Today, thanks to increased visibility, improved media coverage, and a generation of players who connect deeply with fans, rivalries like Clark versus Bueckers can dominate headlines. This reflects not only the growth of the league, but also the broader cultural shift that is elevating women's sports to new levels of prominence. For now, the rivalry remains more a projection than a reality. Until Bueckers officially enters the WNBA, fans are left with memories of their collegiate battles and the tantalizing prospect of what is to come. But if the early indicators are any sign, this could be the defining rivalry of the next decade in women's basketball. Every era needs its storylines, its stars, and its clashes. In Clark and Bueckers, the WNBA may have found all three. As we look ahead, it is worth remembering that rivalries are built not in one game, but over seasons, through dramatic finishes, playoff series, and unforgettable performances. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers have already set the stage. Now it will be up to time, circumstance, and their own performances to determine whether this truly becomes the league's next great rivalry. One thing is certain, the fans are ready, the spotlight is waiting, and the WNBA has an opportunity to showcase a storyline that could capture hearts and headlines for years to come. Whether it is the deep threes of Clark or the clutch mid-range shots of Bueckers, basketball fans everywhere are eager to see these two stars write the next chapter in the sport's history. This has been Ava with WNBA Trending.